In 2020, Chase Elliott won the playoff cutoff event at the Martinsville Speedway. This catapulted him into the 2020 Championship 4, a Final Four that he would overcome and be on top of as a 2020 NASCAR Cup Series champion. But only 5 years prior, he was at Martinsville Speedway for a whole different reason. But more on that right after this. Heading into the holiday season, there's tons of stuff we're going to have going on. Between shopping for presents, the end of the semester of school, as well as just getting festive all around, there's plenty of stuff that you're going to be having to take your time up with. So you don't want to waste a moment when it comes to going to the grocery store and having to get a bunch of ingredients and then go home and make it. So that is where HelloFresh comes in. See, HelloFresh has great, delicious food that can be delivered right to your door, offering a sustainable alternative to having to go grocery shopping every week. You can save time and eat this delicious food. I've been able to plug this right into my busy routine as well, as I've been on the road for much of the season. So right here, I'm eating a creamy chimichurri steak bowl, and man, was it good. It really saved date night for me. So if you want to get some delicious and easy to prep meals, go to HelloFresh.com and use code ICEBERG14 to get 14 free meals plus free shipping. Again, go to HelloFresh.com, use code ICEBERG14 and get 14 free meals plus free shipping. Now, back to the show. Chase Elliott's NASCAR career prior to 2015 had tons of promise. In the Truck Series, he had a great stint of races, which included a very memorable win. And his 2014 Xfinity Series season culminated in a championship victory. While he still was going full-time in the Xfinity Series, driving again in 2015 for JR Motorsports, all parties involved saw the season being one in which he could finally get his feet wet in the NASCAR Cup Series competition. But where to start him out at? Well, why not one of NASCAR's most difficult tracks? So, on March 29th, 2015, Chase Elliott was set to make his inaugural Cup Series start at the Martinsville Speedway. On qualifying day, Elliott put down a pretty good lap, putting his number 25 Napa Chevy up in P27, locking himself into the race. His qualifying times outpaced the likes of Sam Hornish Jr., Trevor Bayne, and the entirety of Michael Waltrip Racing. The key for Elliott was just to get as much seat time as possible, finish all the laps. After all, he was only 19 years old, and he was gonna be getting his feet wet in 2015 before replacing a legend in Jeff Gordon's 24 car in 2016. So, seat time and staying out of trouble were the goals of the day.
Chase Elliott is the youngest and least experienced driver in the field. He has shadowed on and off track Jeff Gordon all week, and Gordon told him the best advice. Today, a win for you would be just to complete all 500 laps, get comfortable, and learn. Now, for the experience part here in the pit, it's not measured by years, it's measured by centuries, 300-plus years of experience. There are guys that'll go over the wall today. You'll hear those names and go, that sounds like Jeff Gordon's old Rainbow Warrior days, because they are. A number of guys here pitted Gordon when he made his debut in 1992.
The first laps were relatively clean for the field. Elliott would need to take it easy and use patience to survive the day. But as is almost always the case with the Martinsville Speedway, there is never a place to hide for long. With the field so bunched up, contact with cars was inevitable.
Chase Elliott's had some contact. There is a bumper reinforcement bar protruding out through that cover. Is it, or is it a piece of trim?
Piece of trim there, but these cars literally are like bumper cars. When they're running as close together like they are, you're bumping and banging off each other all the time.
And there's that piece of trim for Chase Elliott connecting that bumper reinforcement bar to the rear valence.
I know that's a very minor piece of piece hanging off the back of that 25, but he's got it. They're probably going to have to come in and get that off.
Due to some competitors pitting, Elliott was in the top 20 early in his first start. With a consistent amount of cautions, Chase was safely kept on the lead lap. The problem with that is that everybody else had added aggression with more cars on the lead lap.
I think we've had some pretty serious contact between the 55 and the 25. Here's your right front damage on the 25, and the 55 has a whole bunch of damage on it too.
What happened in turn one on the restart, Darrell, was just like an accordion. They all got spread out at the front, and at the back they all accordion together, and Chase Elliott and Brett Moffitt were the two that had probably the most amount of collision back there.
Everything went to hell in a handbasket for Elliott and the 25 team. His first race was turning into a baptism by fire, a complete nightmare, and it only went from bad to worse.
And back here in the garage area, they continue to work on the 25 of Chase Elliott. They just told me they're making a radiator change and the power steering is completely gone. That is what they're working on right now, trying to fix that to help the steering, hoping to get this young gun, 19-year-old Chase Elliott, back on the track.
Well, and that's the biggest thing. He's not running for points of any type, neither is this 25 team, but getting him as many laps as possible before he goes full-time next year is critical.
So the field would have to go on without their youngest member. It wouldn't be until 69, nice, laps later that Elliott would be back on the track. The goal would be to stay out of the way, and also to avoid the insanity of the mid to back of the pack Martinsville crowd. But as the day continued, he kept all four wheels on it.
Chase Elliott's highly anticipated debut in the Sprint Cup Series had a bit of bump and thump to it. You can see all the tape on the back. They made some repairs to Elliott's car, had problems under the hood and with the sheet metal. He got back on track. He's 70 laps down, but trying to go the distance here.
But I like this young man's attitude. Earlier in the week, they asked him, what are your expectations for Martinsville this weekend to make your debut there? And he said, you know, I don't have an expectation of finishing top 15, top 20. I just want to run as many laps as I can and learn about this half-mile track.
While Denny Hamlin and Brad Keselowski dueled up front for the win, Elliott finished out his race in the 38th position. In an odd turn of events, he actually finished right behind his future Hendrick Motorsports teammate of Alex Bowman. While underwhelming in his first start, this was an instrumental moment for his NASCAR career. In 2015, he ran 4 more Cup races. At Richmond, the very next race he ran, he scored his highest finish of the season, 16th, a very respectable 16th. He also raced the Coke 600, Brickyard 400, and Southern 500, 3 crown jewel events at 3 of the most difficult tracks on the schedule. In 2016, he took over the number 24 car from Jeff Gordon. While he didn't win until 2018, he hadn't, and to this day still has not, had a Cup Series season with any less than 10 top 5s. In 2018 and 2019, he scored 3 wins apiece, and in 2020, he put it all together, scoring 5 wins, including the penultimate race of the season at Martinsville. He used that to get him up the next week in a step to winning his first NASCAR Cup Series championship. So in 5 years, he went from barely being in the top 30 to winning a race at Martinsville in a high-pressure scenario. Quite a fine bit of improvement if I do say so myself. But with that, I want to pass it all on to you. What do you think of the career that Chase Elliott has put together since his 2015 start at Martinsville? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content like this. And to all my channel members who have spent so much time supporting me, thank you so much. It does not go unnoticed. And until next time, have a good one.